Greetings, people. Today I'll be working on the Hetzer from Academy models. It's a very, very good looking kit. All the parts seem to be very nice, and we will see how everything goes together in actual build. So right now I'm getting everything sanded up nice and fresh, and then now I'm creating all the suspension pieces to obviously help the tracks and all the wheels but suspension pieces are very well fitted, very well keyed. The pieces kind of just drop together. No issues, no faults with the kit at all. Everything was perfect. Just gluing all the pieces on. Oh, everything here also, again, is very well keyed. Everything just sort of fills together, just drops together. The kit builds itself. It is an incredible, incredible kit. If you're ever just wanting like a nice, like fresh up, you've done maybe a big project, you want something sort of fun just to do. The Hetzer from Academy is a perfect fit. It just feels like like a Tamiya kit. It just drops together. There's no problems, no hassle. Everything is just great. Just a great kit. The lower hull is quite simple in pieces. There's not a lot to it. Um, there's only about like 8 or so like main big pieces that need applied. They all go together pretty well. Everything just sort of flops together. It is quite good, quite nice. Got these little doodads that go onto it. I messed up and put a wheel on wrongly, but that all kind of comes down to me being a bit of a numpty, so we can leave that be. Alright, so right now I'm just constructing all the little wheelie doodads. All the fitting for these are really, really, really good. The sprockets all went together perfectly. There was no issues, and the attachments, obviously, they have little hooking bits to click onto. I put a wee bit of blue tack around the wheels though to help fit them on, just to help the wheels sit better on the vehicle. So that means they can be taken off easier for construction, for painting for later. So now I'm just gonna start working on the track. The tracks of this kit are Lincoln Length. The Lincoln Length kit set. I don't know what I'm just doing there now. Everything on this goes together really nice. The tracks connect up really well. There's nice refitting between each track. There was no issues. It just goes together really well, really, really well. It's a great track. It's better than having rubber band tracks or something like that. It's just really nice. Once the tracks are all put together, you just need to sort of bend them lightly after letting it sit for a few minutes. I probably rushed it a wee bit because the track fell apart a wee bit, but there was no problem with that. Just needed to fix that, put that back together. separated it and made it a wee bit easier to put it into it. But the tracks got on, fitted perfectly, sat really well. Just great. So right now I'm just cutting out the little booty pieces off of the flat bum. Very nice. Very nice little back piece. Now I'm just gonna glue all these little doodads together. I got this little circly thing and glue it into the back of the tank's rear piece. It has a couple spare track pieces and then these little like side flaps that'll connect to the fenders. Overall, the wee back part's really well detailed. Just not a lot of parts to it, just sort of nice looking, sharp, and to the point. It looks very good. And then right now it's just gotta build the engine deck. All of that went together really well. Just gonna apply the wee bit of photo etch. Goes on really nice. Just used a wee bit of my ammo by MiG glue, the PVA glue for photo etch. Works really well for photo etch. It just takes a little bit to apply and let it sit. But once it's on, it is on. But yeah, getting it all set together, just building up the engine deck, letting it all sit, letting it all just build up. It looks very nice. You can even model it, leave it open. Maybe if you bought like a separate like, little engine, you could probably put that in there. It'd be really nice looking. Just a really nice little engine deck, and it's a lot nicer than being one big flat piece. Not building this little exhaust is very exhausting. The pieces sort of, there was kind of a gap between the exhaust pieces, but overall just sort of built up okay. So I'm just gonna get at the upper hull of the tank and all cut out now. And then, obviously after cleaning it up a wee bit, gotta apply the engine deck onto the back of it. Fits really well. I had a small issue though. It was probably a user error. Mine always kept sitting a wee bit weirdly and wouldn't dry properly, so I had to I'd put pegs in there once the whole thing was built to sort of weigh it down a bit. And then just putting on the hatches and closing it up, so the crew don't get shot. Or whatever happens to the crew in a tank, you know what I mean? Just gotta close all the hatches, put everything on nice. I'm not gonna have any hatches sitting open because I don't plan on having any crew sitting out. But one of the hatches I had open for a wee periscope. But I didn't really know about that until later, so I had to end up opening up later and then doing some cleanup. Construction of the upper hull. All the parts just sort of go together really well. There's a lot of nice little clicky, bitty bits. I really like it. It's nice detail. Very cool. I keep saying detail a lot, but ignore that. So currently I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup on the upper hull that I didn't realize that I missed. And then I was about to glue on this little pole-looking fella and a radio antenna bottom piece, and then these little brackets that go onto the skirt fendery thingy-majiggy. So just gluing on these little brackets to the fender. It all goes together pretty well. So now I'm going to cut out the gun mantlets. The gun mantlets are really nice little pieces that are very nice looking. Got a nice little bit of like a cast texture. But later on I do want to kind of add a bit more to it just to make it a little bit stand out more. Just to, you know, it breaks up the texture, it makes up the look of the tank once it's all painted up. You can't really have a tank without a gun, so you just gotta get the gun, get all that put together, get the wing fitting. The fitting of the actual guns, at least for me, felt a bit weird. It didn't seem to click in really. It just sort of kept wibbling around, so I had to kind of hold it in place for a wee bit, just to sort of let it harden in the right spot. And currently I'm using Ammo's anti-slip texture as a sort of that texture, but also fill in a gap on a hatch. If you use it thick enough and let it harden, it will harden pretty quickly, and you can just file it down a wee bit, and it works out pretty well. Fills in a wee gap, and stops it from standing out as much. It's pretty well. So it's got a blotch on this little bit of texture just to sort of dab it on a little bit lightly. Because the texture I'm looking for isn't very rough, it's just sort of like a light little dabbing just to ruffle its feathers a little, just to make it a little uneven a little bit. Sometimes occasionally over the place, just like cast texture would be. Now I'm working on the skirt of the tank. The skirt fitting was a bit off. Didn't feel quite like clipped in. It sort of had to do a lot of wiggling around to sort of fit in. But I felt it was alright once I got in. I wanted to do a little bit of modification, so I removed the middle one on the left side of the tank, which made it have a little bit of character. So currently I'm just applying some handles to the tank, you know, about the crew. Open up some hatches or just climb aboard and do whatever they need to do to help with the maintenance of the vehicle. And then putting the wee tank on a wee spinny wheels, sort of get a wee 360 view of the tank and how it's looking once it's all built. I'm going to apply a layer of primer just to sort of show the tank off a bit better, just to see how it looks when it's all one texture and one color. Obviously later on I will be doing a practice shading coat and all that stuff, but just for now, let's do a little white coat just to show it off better, see how it looks once it's all painted up. Overall though, the kits are very nice, looks very, very detailed. Lots of little fine details, fine welds, fine. It's just very nice looking, very sharp. Hopefully you enjoy watching the video, and hopefully you can look forward to the actual painting of the video and seeing the tank in its true camo and use of the masking that it comes with the kit. Hopefully the masking works out well, and I hope to see you there.